Once I've got all the sides of the beams covered with plywood, the only remaining thing is to ensure that there's plywood as well on the bottom side. So if I were to say, let's hide this topography, so click on hide elements, and if we look at the bottom of the beam, we see that it's still not covered with plywood. Now realistically speaking, we have to cover this part of the beam as well, because we want to be pouring concrete inside that formwork, and the formwork has to create like a container like structure to hold that concrete that is being poured. So to do that, it's exactly the same thing. You loaded your component previously, your formwork plywood, and given that it was set up as a face-based family, you can just click on on that face of the beam at the bottom end, and your sheet was going to appear at the bottom part of your beam. Now the only problem is that the dimensions are not set out correctly, so we got to be taking that into consideration. Now to do that, again, given that this was set up as a parametric family, we can play around with these dimensions. So the length, we might want to, so if we sort of rotate it, we might want to, we can just leave it as it is, but the width of it has to decrease from 927 to say maybe around 500. So if I do that, you'll see now that I've correctly covered the bottom portion of this beam. Again, I can do it for one side, so for one beam, and then I can use my my mirror function, so this button over here under modify, in order to mirror this to the other end of the building. The other point that I want to mention is that once you guys are done with all these formwork placements using your mirror objects, you can start deleting these model lines that you created to act as axes during the mirror process. So what you got to do is just select all these lines and then press delete on your keyboard. Okay.